Crap keyboards in
Warning, there is a small part with some minor profanity in this video. I know you're here for it, so you're welcome. Hello and welcome to this review of my Epomaker Carbon60 keyboard. Another week, another Epomaker. I unboxed this one a while ago in the same video where I also showed the Cypher 96, which I reviewed a few weeks ago. That one I reviewed because of the built-in calculator. This one is very different, however. This is not the first carbon fiber keyboard I've ever covered. A while ago I reviewed the Low-Free Edge, which is probably the closest competitor keyboard, as it's also a low-profile, small form factor carbon fiber keyboard, so it occupies almost exactly the same niche. Therefore, I'm going to be comparing the two in several parts of the video. Now, the Edge was an interesting keyboard, but it was too small, too cramped, and the switches were revoltingly scratchy and too stiff for my liking, so there's not too much competition here, I think. So the unique selling point of this keyboard, as the name suggests, is that it's made out of carbon fiber. Specifically, both the case and the plate are, which is pretty cool, and it gives the keyboard that distinctive weave pattern look. Of course, carbon fiber is a very light yet strong material, so the build quality on this should be fairly excellent. It's not mega rigid or anything, there is a good amount of flex in the case, but I have pretty high confidence that this thing will hold up well in terms of pure toughness of the case at least. This is in contrast to some other Epomaker products which have very flimsy plastic cases, so this is a welcome change. For reference sake, it weighs 426 grams. Now, I tried to make this unit understandable for Imperial unit users, and while Google didn't have a very clear conversion chart or anything, data suggests that this should be about 519.5 bald eagle poops. The form factor on this one is even smaller than the one the Edge uses. It's a simple 60%, and it has much smaller bezels as well. This means that it doesn't get as much opportunity to show off its carbon fiber weave as the Low-Free, but I guess it helps save even more space. In terms of case aesthetics though, I'd say I prefer the Edge for how it plays into the keyboard's whole unique selling point. The switches are Gateron Low-profile Red's V2, which unlike the Edge's switches don't have a carbon fiber top housing, which was admittedly pretty cool, but they feel way better. Going back, I think it was actually kind of lenient on these things in the Low-Free Edge. I did mention that they were scratchy and uncomfortably stiff, but it's worse than I remembered somehow. These ones are nice though, they're light and smooth, and the travel is also a lot shorter at 1.7mm, which, even though I don't like short throw switches, feels more natural than the bizarre 2.4mm that the Edge's switches used, which really felt like it was neither fish nor meat. This at least is a dedicated low-profile design. You can also get them in brown Gaterons, but if you go for low-profile brown switches, you really must be out of your goddamn mind. No offense. The real killer for the Edge was the keycaps though. There were two things wrong with it. First of all, the sides were too steeply sloped, so there wasn't a lot of room between the keycaps, and this made it easy to make typing mistakes. These feel more forgiving to use in this regard, which is nice, and the extra room between the cap edges makes it easier to feel out where a keycap stops and where it starts, rather than everything just feeling like a kind of single sheet of keycaps. It's just better. The worst thing about the Low-Free was the Keycap font though. Jesus on the cross jerking his gherkin, what coat hanger aborted dingo fucker came up with this smegma covered donkey dong? It's hideous! This font is as messy as a chili picante flavored enema and about as useful as a tube of ass-scented toothpaste. This is unacceptable! The Carbon60, meanwhile, has a much more legible font. Granted, it's not the prettiest ever, and it's in the middle top rather than the top left where it belongs, but it is very usable, and it's not repulsive or anything, it's fine. They're ABS double shots, by the way. There are some more questionable decisions they made, though. Leaving off the arrow keys is something I can't even fathom in my weirdest dreams, but if that's what you like, good for you. It is a 60% keyboard after all. But why they implemented the arrow keys as a layer on the function keys down here, rather than on WASD, or the delete key as FN plus B rather than FN plus backspace, I have no fucking clue. Thankfully, the keyboard is compatible with QMK and VIA, so you can reprogram this bullshit out of it easily enough. It's also got this strap like on some of the Wooting keyboards. I doubt more than 3 users worldwide are ever going to find this useful, but hey, I'm not in marketing, so what the hell do I know? As for the price, it's $117. If you compare that to the low-free Edge, which has a base price of $250, granted, it's not generally that as it appears to be on a permanent, rather significant discount, but that still makes this thing rather cheap in comparison. It's not cheap in absolute terms, especially for a 60%, but I don't think anyone's going to buy a carbon fiber keyboard thinking it's going to be the economical option. Overall, it's not really for me, mainly because of the tiny size, but it is pretty decent otherwise. The switches are smooth and nicely weighted, the look is good, build quality sturdy, etc. I think if you're going for a carbon fiber setup, this might fit in nicely. That's it for this review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and following is a typing demonstration of me typing on this keyboard.